Something unusual is happening with the Mac Mini, and it may be one of Apple's smartest launch setups in years. The cheapest Mac Mini quietly disappeared. No keynote mention. No official announcement. No discontinued banner. It simply stopped being available, and suddenly the entry price shifted upward. That kind of move is rarely accidental with Apple. It usually means the company is preparing the market before a new product lands. And all signs point to the next generation M5 Mac Mini. The first thing to understand is that this machine probably won't look new at all. Based on supply chain reports, Apple is expected to keep the same compact aluminum body introduced in the recent redesign. That means the 5-inch square footprint stays, which makes sense. The design is already one of the best desktop layouts Apple has produced, tiny enough to disappear on a desk, powerful enough to replace much larger workstations for many users. The real change is inside. The base version is expected to use the new M5 chip, and leaks suggest a healthy performance jump over the current generation. That likely means faster app launches, smoother editing, better multitasking, and noticeably stronger AI workloads. For everyday users, it may feel less like a minor refresh and more like a substantial step forward. But the M5 Pro version is where things get serious. That model is rumored to bring a much more aggressive architecture aimed at creators, developers, and professionals running sustained workloads. Think high-end video editing, software builds, 3D rendering, and increasingly, local AI processing. Apple appears to be designing the system around the reality that more people want advanced AI tools running directly on device instead of depending entirely on cloud services. That's why memory becomes important. Reports suggest the standard model could finally start with 16 GB RAM and 512 GB storage as default. That's a meaningful shift because the older 256 GB entry point had become hard to justify. Modern workflows eat storage fast, and even casual users can hit that limit surprisingly quickly. The Pro version may go further, starting with 24 GB memory and 1 TB storage. Add faster SSD controllers and potential Thunderbolt 5 support, and suddenly the Mac Mini becomes much more than a small office computer. It becomes a compact workstation. Which brings us back to price. Apple may have quietly removed the lowest cost option to reset expectations. If customers get used to seeing the Mac Mini start higher, a new model launching at what seems like a better price feels like value, even if it's technically more expensive than the original entry model generations ago. That's classic price anchoring. Raise the reference point first, then introduce the new product slightly below that temporary ceiling. People feel like they're saving money, even though the real baseline already moved. It's subtle, and Apple has used similar strategies before. For most users, the standard M5 will likely be more than enough. Web work, editing photos, office tasks, coding, even moderate video editing, it should handle all of it comfortably. But for creators making money from heavy workloads, the M5 Pro could become one of the most compelling small desktops Apple has ever built. Quiet, compact, and potentially powerful enough to replace systems much larger than itself. So the real story may not be the M5 chip. It may be how Apple is quietly changing what people believe a cheap Mac should cost before the new one even exists.